Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hamster's Hobby Hang. Thank you for being here. New video on city builds and castle integration are fantastic. That's good to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Chris, baby.
Hi.
There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that. I didn't even realize for a while.
Yeah, the people who worked here didn't know that stuff, which is great. Casey edited the castle one, and when she put up the first cut, she was like, "Well, I didn't know how to use any of these pieces before, and now it makes sense to me." So that's good. Yeah, no, that was the main thing. It's like, hey, we gotta do this stuff before Cities Untold happens.
Yeah.
So that people have a way into understanding city stuff. Like if we don't do it now, it's gonna be too late to do it.
Right.
Yeah. So, especially now that we're doing a bigger Fieldstone expansion in Lowtown, like it became even more like, yeah, it's a good thing that we focused on how to actually use castles with cities. Oh my God! Come on, Cat.
Literally changed my mind on purchasing some of the city stuff. Well, just you wait.
So that's what we're going for. We're trying to cause financial problems.
That is the goal.
That's our main purpose. You are shedding so hard. Why are you shedding in the winter?
Oh God, you're gonna have textured bases and textured minis with cat hair.
Yeah, I gotta get her off here before I start painting it. How's everybody doing today? Hi Rabbit. Hi Finley. Long time no see. Oh God. All right, you gotta get off here.
Even before we started, you found evidence of her chaos on the floor. Pallet supplies.
Well, she knocked the water bottle over. The water glass. I think the worst part is that she'll do stuff intentionally. She'll do that. Oh God, she'll do that cat thing of like, yeah, I'm just gonna push this thing off of the shelf, but most of the time she doesn't even mean to knock things over. She just has no self-awareness. Oh my God. How's everybody doing today? What a great start.
Throw on the tunes. Sometimes I forget the tunes. I don't know if you guys missed that, but let's throw them on this time.
What's up?
I was just saying, I almost forgot the music. Sometimes I forget music for the whole time, and it's just my voice.
I never hear it, so I never know if you were doing it or not.
Oh yeah, I just have it in the stream, I guess. Not to you. Or I guess you have the stream up sometimes, but...
Yeah, but I mute it.
Right.
So I don't want to get... I have it up so I can see the chat, and also to goose our views a little bit. Okay, well... This probably needs to be wiped down anyways.
My desk certainly does. It's a freaking mess. Both desk at home, desk at work.
She's still just weaving between my legs.
Attention at all costs. Realm of the Ancients is my only resin set, great for that ruined temple vibe. Yeah, it's kind of a classic look too. It's kind of neat. Petition for background music to be Baby Shark? Is there copyright on that?
What's going on?
Smells like up nerd in here? What's up nerd, Mace?
Wait, but that makes you call her a nerd.
Right,
So, like,
I realized it as soon as I said it. I was like, I just ruined everything.
What? Here's the like. That's a. You're. She's not burning you with that. She's making
No,
you
right.
burn her.
Yeah.
You're calling
Right.
her a nerd. You go, "What's up, nerd?" She goes, "Not much. What's up with you?" She's the nerd in that situation.
Right. Smells like up ugly in here. Is this just a Mace, like, self-deprecating burn? Yeah.
You all right?
Oh, up boss. Okay, what's up, boss?
Well, pieces. I put a couple on a build in our Pathfinder game last session. My players immediately went, "Wait, those runes are elven, not dwarven. What's going on here?" They knew immediately. Wait. They just knew they were elven by looking at them. Realm of the Ancient is my only resin set. Great for that rune simple vibe. And yeah, you can leave it open for wargaming too. Yeah.
The Realm of the Ancients? Yeah, there's some good bits in there.
Where's my? Let's bring the water back. Oh. All right, it's been a day. Let's paint.
Hell yeah. I like this music. It's like an 80s Dracula montage. This is actually Chris's friend from the Northwest. It's like inspired by video game music.
Yeah, Amy Waters. She does a lot of video game covers, and so I'm not sure what ones he's playing. She does.
Which one is this?
She calls like folk synth, and
This is the Cosmos of the Soul album.
nice. Yeah, that one is about her transition. So that's nice.
Nice.
Very, very good. Very, very talented musician. Okay. What are you painting?
All right, yeah, smell you later too, Mace. Let's see. I have the last of my Free Blades allies. This is a bard.
Nice.
So yeah, kind of a cool pose. I do still have one additional warband, so that's like another 5 or so, but I figure I'll just try to batch those at some point. And then that'll be all my Free Blades. That'll be 2 warbands and 3 allies. I forget, did you get any allies? Or you got like a bear thing, right? Or did you not get that?
I got monsters. I got the
Okay, yeah.
Algroosh and then the baby Groosh. And then I also got a second army.
Oh, awesome.
That I haven't assembled or painted yet. Because why would I? Man, I had just fit like all my minis and painting stuff onto my new desk, and then a bunch more Kickstarters got delivered.
Oh man, which one's that?
My Broken Anvil stuff got here, and my Westphalia stuff got here.
Oh, my Westphalia came too, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that might be what I do. I might, so I can get it to focus where it should. I might do this guy. I'm not sure. If I can get anything to focus on. Doesn't look like it. Ah, well. A cyborg with no minis yet? I'm sorry. At the very least, I'll get him based. He's gonna need a lot of basing. And I also got like a mini one of him. and then 2 minis, 2 like adventures. It was that weird like like pandemic Kickstarter he did.
Right, right.
It's like, yeah, they got masks on and they're fighting Beholder that's a virus monster. Looking back on that, I don't know.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah. But it's cool looking sculpts. I mostly care about the virus monster. It's a very unique, interesting boss to have. Where's my... Here it is. Primer. Hey Jay, how you doing? Got Cyborg with no minis yet. I think the one big Kickstarter I have left unfulfilled from like my 2020 splurge of backing a bunch of Kickstarters in early pandemic is Black Flag.
Oh.
Which, man, that's gonna take up a lot of space whenever it ships. Because it's a very big. It's like I got like 2 ships, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's gonna take up a ton of space when it gets here.
Yeah, I'm kind of dreading the day that the Darkest Dungeon board game comes, because that's just so much stuff.
Oh god, I have the Monster Hunter board game too. Oh no. Forgot about that. I was gonna say, like, I don't really back video game board game Kickstarters very much. But I backed that, and I think I backed Frostpunk too. Oh no. I don't have room for this stuff. What was I thinking?
I know. Like, I'm even the stuff I have, I'm like, I've been kind of hankering to paint a big army for like Warhammer or Middle Earth or something. I'm like, where's that gonna go? I need to like get my storage settled before I start that.
Yeah. Man. The reality is I just need to paint a bunch of the stuff so I can then move it to the office and get it out of my apartment.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Did I get the Wood Dragon from Broken Anvil? I think I got everything. I'm pretty sure I did. It's been a while. I bought some of it. I assembled a lot of them. I'm mostly interested in the mouse folk. Because I can use them for the Redwall game I'm working on. That was my main thing. And then also Myconids, because we don't have Myconids at all. And, or I guess Mushroom Folk, because we don't have Myconids at all. So just having some sort of mushroom option will be nice. Well, these minis look very fun to paint. Nearing the finish line and all the wildland stuff. Hey, thank you, Band of Badgers.
Hey, Badgers.
Hey, Badgers. Still waiting on Frosthaven here in Europe. Frosthaven or Frostpunk?
I know they did a Frosthaven, like...
Wasn't Frosthaven a while ago?
Well, who knows with the supply chain, if maybe it's just delivering now, I don't know.
I also trying to keep things straight. Maybe I was thinking of Gloomhaven. Frosthaven was the expansion to Gloomhaven, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The only board game I want to hear about is Where Heroes Dare.
Yeah, baby.
Right, we're coming for all the board games. Dude, Mousetrap doesn't stand a chance.
I did love Mousetrap as a kid, though. Mostly just, like, setting it up. So I guess I was meant to do models.
That's fair. It was, yeah, as a kid, like, Mousetrap was very fun just because it was just fun to build that thing out.
Yeah.
Like, the spectacle of it. I don't know that I ever actually played a game of Mousetrap, but I set it up multiple times.
Yeah.
Because you just wanted to see people get trapped.
Right.
That was the whole point of the game. You just wanted to see that stuff go off.
See, my favorite one, I might have mentioned this on stream before, but it was called 1313 Dead End Drive, and I feel like I've mentioned it in other places and they haven't heard of it, but it's basically like kind of like a haunted house, and it's full of booby traps, and so it's kind of like Mousetrap, where you're walking around the board trying not to get booby trapped and like have a bookcase fall on you or something, and it has the functional traps and stuff. I thought it was so cool.
We can acknowledge that booby trap is just a very, very funny name for that, right? Like, I don't understand why booby is like the word we use.
Yeah, who knows? I don't.
I'm not mad about it. I think it's hilarious. I just have no idea why.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's kind of modular terrain. I made a joke like that in regards to Where Heroes Dare, saying like, "Oh, we're following in Mousetrap's footsteps by making an interactable terrain board game."
Incredible.
Yeah.
They laid the path.
It's the closest thing we have to a predecessor is Mousetrap. Oh no. I think I said that to you. Sometimes I'm not sure what jokes I make in my head and what jokes I say out loud. What jokes I've said time.
Oh, you found that Dead End Drive on Board Game Geek? Nice. Yeah, I loved that as a kid. Sometimes I would just set it up and like spring the traps.
They ever made a Night Trap board game?
Night Trap?
You don't know about Night Trap?
No.
Night Trap was one of the games that got video games in a lot of trouble back in the day.
Oh my
It was
god.
one of the games that Jack Thompson latched onto, that and like Doom. Night Trap was an FMV game, full motion video.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you played was by swapping back and forth between these different cameras that were watching different parts of like this house. And the premise was these girls were having a sexy, fun teenager party.
Oh dear.
And these weird guys in like black suits who walked really odd and felt like they felt like Power Rangers villains, the way they moved around and stuff. Were just randomly like coming from everywhere and trying to like kidnap them all. And it's all playing out in full motion video, and so you're supposed to like look for them and then like activate, but it does a very bad job of actually telling you how anything works. But the goal is basically you're supposed to activate traps to stop any of the kids from getting like kidnapped by the bad guys. And so like when they're running up the stairs after them or something, you hit a button that makes the stairs turn into like a ramp, and then like a trap door opens up at the bottom and it sends them into a pit. That sort of thing. And it was one of those games where Jack Thompson just like straight up lied about it. And it was just like, oh, it's just brutal depictions of people being murdered and sex and stuff like that. And it's like, no, it's genuinely like super, super tame. You don't see anybody get killed. Like it has like, it's as graphic as Legends of the Hidden Temple. Like when kids would get like grabbed by the like guardians that are standing in the temple at the end or whatever.
Sure.
Like it's just, they just get grabbed by a guy in a suit who then like kind of awkwardly walks them off screen. But that was one of the games that he fear-mongered over and the big outrage was about. And it got released on the Switch.
What?
Yeah, they got re-released on Switch for some godforsaken reason.
Yeah, what? Of all
You think
things.
the VCR was the gimmicks making it a board game would defeat the purpose? Oh, absolutely. It wouldn't be good, but it'd be a lot of fun. It's on PC too? Yes. There's no way they didn't make a Legends of the Hidden Temple like video game for the Sega or something back in the day. They made one for Guts. Remember Guts?
No, I don't remember that.
You remember Nickelodeon Guts? It was kind of like American Ninja Warrior, but for kids.
Huh.
You have to, in the final challenge, it would be a series of like physical challenges. One of them was like they put kids on bungee cords, and they would jump, and they would have to like do slam dunks with basketballs. But it would be by standing up and like they'd be on like 20 feet away on like a raised platform, and they'd have to jump off that. And they had a bungee cord on, so it would be like you have to jump across like the whole court and dunk, and then jump back and stuff like that. And then the final thing was always the aggro crag, which was running up this big mountain, this big like foam mountain with like foam boulders and stuff rolling down, and it was just a race to get to the top.
Huh.
They made a board game for that, or a video game for that. They made a big thing about it being 25 years old. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Not a good game. But the only reason anybody cares about Night Trap is because Jack Thompson made such a big deal out of it, trying to get like video games banned. Because that game is not good. It's a mess. There's like no redeeming factor to it outside of just the, oh my god, this is really bad. It's fun to just get drunk with friends and like laugh at this for a bit, sort of thing. I'm sorry if the creator of Night Trap is in chat right now. Like a same version of Takeshi's Castle? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the inspiration for it, right? Because that like kicked off that whole genre. Speaking of Takeshi, Takeshi's Challenge is also another just phenomenal weird game.
Is that FMV?
It's not FMV, it's a Super Nintendo. I think it's Super Nintendo. Yeah, it's like a Super Nintendo game. It's a side scroller.
Huh.
So like it feels like it was made by somebody who hates video games. There's a part in the game you just have to do just like it's ridiculously difficult, and so much of it just involves like making very weird and often bad choices.
Huh.
Divorcing your wife and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, it's a very weird game. They were meant to be the people in Night Trap are meant to be vampires. Oh no, that didn't come across like at all. They're just goofy guys walking real dumb.
That's the vampire walk.
So vampires walk. What we do in the shadows, and they just all walk. Vampire Monty Python be like the Ministry of Regular Walks. That and Nightmare were the goals as kids, right? Yeah. So remember that show, The Adventure Game, where the final battle was against a potted plant? What? So much weird media in the 80s and 90s. The kind of weird media that we have now is just sad. Man, this probably isn't a model I'm going to be able to finish today.
Got that prime down fast.
It's not done priming at all.
Oh.
I still have several bits of it. I probably should have primed it all before I assembled it, but I needed something to do. during On the Anvil last night because listening to Nate is so boring. No, I just wanted to keep my hands busy. I had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So I just assembled my Westphalia stuff. But it has made getting into prime some of these areas on these tentacles a little difficult because the tentacles are all wrapping around each other. The real answer is I should just set up a place where I can actually use my airbrush.
Hey, there you go.
I still haven't done that since I moved into this apartment like a year and a half ago. Ooh, Double Dare was great. What other game shows do they have? Figure It Out was fun. Finders Keepers was pretty good. Nickelodeon Gas, I loved that channel.
Forgot about that. They had that whole separate thing.
Nickelodeon Gas stood for games and sports. I feel like it really was just kind of a golden era for children's entertainment, just in terms of like the amount of it being produced and like the variety of it.
Yeah.
They were putting so much into making kids content around that time because Saturday morning cartoons were doing well, and they were like, oh, kids don't have money, but their parents have money, and kids are really annoying about it. So we should just keep aggressively making shows that kids are going to want their parents to like buy them merch for and stuff. They're captive audience. Also, the advertising. I'm not cynical. I do like that I basically said, like, oh, I miss when media was like this, and then said, you know, when they were aggressively trying to advertise to me.
Well, ain't that always the case?
Yes. I try not to think about the fact that my job is largely advertising to people now.
Yeah, but we actually try to make something good.
Yeah, I try to be ethical about it. It does get a little weird when people say things like, well, I'm gonna have to mortgage my house for this. And I'm like, please don't.
Right.
Like, I hope it's all jokes. But I really hope people aren't genuinely putting themselves in, like, financial straits for stuff. I don't know. Is that bad for the company if I go on the record saying, please don't lose your house to buy Dwarven Forge?
I don't think so. I think most would agree.
Is that bad for our... I mean, we're not publicly traded, but... is that bad for our stock? Dwarven Forge takes bold anti, like, rooting their customer base stance.
Yeah, I'll stand by that with you.
We'll go down together. What was that video game show where kids were in blue rooms and the audience saw them in a video game? What? What? The audience saw them in a video game? Nightmare? Oh! Wait, I don't think I've seen that. Only 8 teams over 8 seasons. Huh. No winner in season 1. I've never heard of this. Check that out. Always funny with the sidestep left, person goes right, falls down a pit to their death. Yeah, it's got a bunch of contestants who didn't know left from right. Should I buy some more caverns? Do you need it? I don't know. I feel like you've got a lot, right? Like you've filled a gaming table. You're probably fine. The British show? Oh, that explains it. I have a firm stance against watching British television. That's not true. We've been watching British Baking Show lately.
Oh, nice.
I never saw it until like a couple weeks ago, and then for whatever reason, Maeve and I started watching it, and then just binged a season in like 2 days.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, I got a cast iron pan.
Whoa.
I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin it.
Wait, because of the show, or you just had it?
Not because of the show. I've talked about like kind of wanting to get one for a while, but Maeve found one in an antique shop,
Whoa.
like $30, and she was like, "Look." He's like, "You're never gonna see one this cheap." So she's like, "I got you." I just got like a call from her. What was I doing? I think it was hanging out with Miles and Ame, and I was worried like something went wrong, and she was just like, "You have a cast iron pan." I was like, "No." She's like, "Okay, what do you do now?" So since it's pre-owned, I think it's already seasoned. I don't know, but you got to do the whole thing of like, it's a whole journey having one of those things. It's learning like a whole new style of cooking and all that. So I am excited for it. Also, very nervous about ruining it.
Yeah, I pretty much know there's a lot of stuff you're supposed to do and not do, and I know none of the specifics.
Nicola, my friend in Sweden, I talked to him about cooking a lot, and he loves getting new cast iron stuff and seasoning it. He found like a wok that somebody had thrown away, and just dug it out of the trash and took it home. And he's like, "Nah," he's like, I'm gonna fix this." And he was like working on that for weeks. So I'm very excited to have cast iron chats with him.
Yeah, that's nice you have a resource to go to.
Yes. Well, because Maeve's used them before too, so she can help. Nicola can help. I have all of YouTube at my fingertips. Can't really ruin them. Worst case, you scrape everything down with steel wool and reseason.
Huh.
That sounds like work. Can I get it to work without doing anything? I just like making that my default response to everything. Anytime I ask people for like workout advice, I just like,
How do I get ripped doing nothing?
like, yeah, can I get into shape without like taking a lot of time out or anything? Where's your bloodthirsty capitalistic mindset, Chris? You need to kill your humanity to succeed in corporate America. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Just Google Nightmare on YouTube. Basically, teams of 4 kids. One has a helmet on, so it can only look down, but they are in a green screen warehouse. The other 3 see the projected composite image and have to steer them around obstacles and things. That's wild. I've heard, I've seen bits of Taskmaster. That stuff looks hilarious.
Oh gosh, I love Taskmaster.
Yeah. Cast iron pan plus 1 pan induction burner plus small sous vide setup equals amazing food. Once the pan is clean and seasoned, just wipe it out with a paper towel and cover it to keep the cat hair out. Well, thankfully, she doesn't go in the kitchen that often. Well, she only goes in there when I'm cooking, basically, and then she sits on my feet while I'm trying to move back and forth and, cook. If I'm cooking any meat, she gets real obnoxious about it.
The good stuff.
I probably should have washed these, now that I think about it. Oh well.
I'm real lazy about washing models that I should, and I've had almost 0 problems, so...
I got very used to not... Because it feels like most people are moving away from needing to wash their models. Most companies are, like, moving away from that. So you usually don't have to do it as much anymore. But then every now and then, I'll just start painting a model where I didn't check to see whether it needs to be washed or not, and it'll backfire, and it's never fun.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if I need to wash these ones or not, but I guess I'll find out. That's what primer's for, though, so, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, if paint's sticking to it, you're not, it's not an issue.
priming the little virus guy while I wait for the big one to dry.
Just a little baby virus.
Little baby virus. The common cold. If I was ever a rapper, that's what I'd go with.
The common cold.
Yeah. Very funny to me. Feels like it combines. Well, one, I mean, there is, common.
Right.
And then there's so many names that do revolve around being cold. So many, like, ice, tea, and, ice cube.
Yeah.
And being cold is just generally, like, a thing. So, like, I feel like common cold would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I have not been playing very much lately. Spend most of my free time just staring at the ceiling, stressing out. And I could be stressing out while getting some models.
I hear ya. Does Sally join you and stare?
She'll usually lay on my chest, yeah. A good portion of my evenings are generally spent laying on the couch while she lays on my chest.
Well, that
She won't lay on
sounds
my chest when I'm in bed or anything. She'll sleep next to me in bed. But if I lay down on the couch, she immediately goes for the chest. Don't know why. Don't ask me why. I almost did Don't Ask Me Why at karaoke instead of Pressure. It was fun to do Pressure. And get reminded that I have no range.
I thought everyone sounded dang good.
I think some people weren't going for good.
Well, right, there was that.
Some people were going for how much can I make your ears hurt right now?
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah, that was something else.
Some people were going for how do I drive everybody else out of the bar right now? Some people were going for what songs just have screaming in them. You and Tyler killed it as always.
Oh, thank you. That was fun. I haven't physically sang and I don't even remember the last time.
Well, hopefully we'll do that more.
Yeah, that was fun.
Hopefully that could be like as we're, all in the office more and doing crunch, I'm hoping that can just be like a way to pull off scheme.
Yeah.
Right there. And, especially if we can continue to be like the only people in the bar.
Right. Yeah, that did work out.
Oh. Everywhere else, it's the Great British Bake Off, and I only found out that it's different in the US because Pillsbury have a trademark on the term bake off. Interesting.
What? Really?
So that's why for the Band of Badgers, it's the Great British Brush Off.
Huh.
Pillsbury have a trademark on the term bake off? I'm trying to think of Pillsbury products. I mean, I haven't used Pillsbury products, I think, since I was a kid. Like, my mom would have them.
Yeah.
And would do, like, the cinnamon roll. She would do, like, Pillsbury cinnamon rolls and stuff. I don't think I've ever bought a Pillsbury product as an adult.
No.
I have no idea if, like, bake-offs are, like, a kind of cookie they have or something.
Huh.
Man, how are you going to copyright a common term? Bake-offs are things that people have that they do.
Right.
I don't know, man. Starting to rethink this capitalist structure. Well, okay, that's a Slack message I got.
Uh-oh.
Just got a notification. I'm sure this is part of a longer conversation, and it has a context. I just got a notification. It just says, someone in Slack just says, "I pissed my pants."
Oh, just a day in the life at the forge.
Yeah, I almost said who it was. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sure there's further context, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna put that out there. The Great British Baking Show. The season we watched all the way through was the one with Jurgen and Giuseppe. That was a fun season. I liked that group a lot. And then we started watching the one that's currently going as well because, why not?
Sure.
The only thing I don't like is the hosts, honestly.
Is it still the Mighty Boosh guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noel Fielding and then the bald guy. It's the only thing I don't really like about the show. I don't think most of their jokes work. And they like incorporate Paul and Prue into the skits sometimes, and like genuinely Paul and Prue do a better job than the actual host at like doing comedy. But oh well. The Mighty Boosh was awesome. I'm sure. However, Great British Baking Show is not the Mighty Boosh. whatever they're doing there, I don't know. I don't think most of the jokes work. Original lineup was pretty great if you can find those. Maeve tried to show me that. She was like, oh, like they had different hosts before and that was better. And she tried to show me, but apparently those original seasons aren't on Netflix anymore. Just the ones with the current lineup. Yeah. At least in America. I don't know. Probably licensing and all that. But I don't know. I find the show extremely, extremely pleasant, which is the point, Reality TV that isn't American reality TV, where it's all about finding the worst people you can.
Yeah.
And having people watch every week and just go like, wow, look at how awful these people are. Aren't you glad that like we're not that bad? It's like this weird validation thing. It's like, yeah, but you're rewarding them for being bad.
Right.
By watching this show and letting them get rich and famous of it. Please don't give them oxygen. Which is a sentence I find myself saying a lot.
I watched a lot of that stuff as a kid because my mom controlled the remote.
What? Mel and Sue for life. Are they the original hosts? In the mood for soothing confidence TV, the archaeology program Time Team is lovely. All right, Time Team sounds like a sci-fi show. Like it sounds like a 90s like kids educational sci-fi show. Or I guess like an educational show with sci-fi elements. They give them a time machine and they go and they. It sounds like it would be in the Cyber Chase thing. I'm sure that's not what it is, but well, yeah, because you said it's an archaeology, and I completely understand why Time Team would be the name of an archaeology show. I'm sure that it's actually just a pure, straight archaeology show. But I think it's a cartoon.
So there.
Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? We make our own truths here in America. You can't tell me what things is. Ever watch Blackadder? Yeah, baby. Blackadder's very good. Anybody else ever hear of Slings and Arrows? Anybody else ever watch Slings and Arrows?
No, I wish I did. That sounds cool.
It's a slightly more serious. It's a. What's the best way to describe it? It's a show about like a Shakespeare repertory company. Is that a Bible thing? No, Slings and Arrows is a Shakespeare bit. It's a Shakespeare reference. Tony Robinson was original host of Time Team. Still a huge fan. Tony Robinson isn't the guy with the huge hands and like veins bulging out of his neck that does like inspirational speeches that are just like really sexist, right? No, I think it's Tony Robbins. Hang on a second. I gotta clarify. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tony Robbins.
I did not know about his veins.
He looks like a G.I. Joe character. And he says some real bad stuff under the guise of self-help.
Goodness.
That's voiced the original Discworld audiobooks. Do I know Tony Robinson? I might know Tony Robinson.
Tony Robbins is a bad Tony. Okay, bad Tony confirmed.
Yes. Okay, I know this guy. Yeah. He was in Blackadder. Okay. I'm really bad at knowing actors' names.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm really, really bad at it. A lot of voiceover broadcast stuff. No, he seems really cool. That's good. Tony Robbins is bad, Tony. Yeah, Tony Robbins is bad. There's a lot of Tonys out there.
Turns out.
Do you think anybody ever called Anthony Bourdain Tony?
Maybe.
I feel like he's the kind of guy that, like, needs the full Anthony every time. It feels disrespectful to call him a Tony.
Yeah, he made the brand.
Is the weather bad in New York? It's cold.
It's like finally cold.
The winds were pretty high today.
Today it finally feels like November.
Yeah. It was in the 70s last weekend.
Yeah, that was wild.
Very, very weird. We usually get like a blizzard on Thanksgiving. By usually, I mean I distinctly remember 2 Thanksgivings since I've been in the city where there's been a blizzard.
Huh.
And so it was very weird to have it this hot, this close to Thanksgiving.
I've been here for a couple Thanksgivings, but I don't think I left my room much, so I don't remember that blizzard.
Are you staying here this year?
Yeah.
So am I. I mean, I stay every year, actually. I've never gone home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was just back, so...
Ever able to afford it is, like, the main thing. Like, I can afford to go home, like, once a year, generally, and I would always choose Christmas.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, the day that matters most to my mom.
Sure.
Pressure stuck in my head now. what paint scheme I would even do on this guy. Maybe I should have thought about that before I primed him.
On the virus?
Yeah. Would I just do standard beholder colors? It sounds like purple and fleshy is like probably the way to go.
It's hard to go wrong with that. It always looks cool and monstery.
I could do green instead of purple. Do like green tinted fleshy?
Yeah, like plague colors.
Booger monster. Do I want to just prime things today? Oh, let me check and see actually if I got the wood dragon. That would be under stretch goals, right? Where's home? Washington. This is big. Is this the wood dragon? Oh yeah, this has to be it. Which one? The one that's actually just called Washington. Washington State. Oh god. Now that I'm dating somebody from DC, it's gonna get even more confusing.
Oh, that May's from DC?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And everybody that like God, and all her family, if I ever say like Washington, they're gonna be like, oh yeah? Not yours. Like, because I never had to clarify that when I was on the West Coast.
Right, right.
But going to the East Coast and like New York, like since I got out here, that's when everybody would be like, "Oh, you're talking about Washington D.C. if you mention Washington."
Right.
It's like literally like just a train ride away. What's this? I didn't fully read or comprehend what I was going to be getting in this Kickstarter, I don't think.
Yeah, it's real easy to just be like, how much is the all-in? Yeah, sure.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Which, you know, when you work for a Kickstarter company, it helps you give like give you some insight into what everybody that backs your Kickstarters is going to be going through, but
Right.
man, this stuff is wrapped. Okay, this is not the same material, I don't think. What is this? Feels like a much heavier material. Did they do resin?
I think a lot of those are resin, yeah. Or is that broken anvil? Or is it... Oh, okay, maybe. I thought they're like printed. So it's like lighter resin.
Material. What is it? Was there... Merc, are you still here? Was there like a resin thing?
Huh. Hey, Tyler's here.
Finally back, performing for you.
Yeah.
You know the words, you can join in too. Yeah, it's evidence. It is, yeah, it's very expensive to fly internally. Well, especially for me, like, I literally have to fly across the entire country.
Yeah.
If I were flying shorter, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but if I was going less far away, I would probably take a different option other than flying. It's the thing I like the most about the East Coast, is that there's actually, like, a train network here. The fact that I can go... The fact that there's so many, like, interesting cities that are just a train ride away. The fact that I can get to DC in, like, 2 hours for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I've been thinking I gotta take advantage of that more. I've never been there pretty much anywhere except New York and the tri-state.
Froghead statues? Have you want froghead statue? Maybe I didn't get the wood dragon. Thought I did. That's unfortunate. That's a big troll guy. Yeah, I gotta figure out what this thing is. So this seems like it would be the base. And then this would go on top of it. Feels like this should nestle together. I need to like attach it like something. But like what is it supposed to be? What am I looking at?
I can't, I'm trying to help you. I don't know if I can decipher it either. Is it like a terrain piece?
Yeah, the shipping notice or info. It was on mine, but it didn't arrive with it. I could just like look at the Kickstarter, but I want to try to figure this out by myself. What, you want me to ask for directions? Come on. Alright, so like this has like the streaky, so this is clearly supposed to be the dead side. So this feels like it's supposed to go into this basin. Oh, there it goes. It fits exactly like this. Okay. It's just a big rock? What Kickstarter was this? It's Broken Anvil's Kickstarter from
Dungeon Delvers?
Dungeon Delvers, yeah. Okay, so this makes a big rock. It's a big terrain rock piece. Oh, meant for the wood dragon or not? Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good concept. I think I threw my packing notice away like immediately. My packing list, or whatever. So I was like, I'm sure I got everything. And now I wonder. It's their Titan's Tooth? It's like an ore or something? Maybe. It seems like it's just a scattered terrain piece, which, hey, that's alright. It's a nice looking piece. What is this? Okay, this is supposed to go on top of something. It's got to cut out. Does it go here? Where's this thing fit into? Oh, I'm dumb. It's this thing right here. This cut out. Okay, which direction? Like that. Okay, so it's like an altar situation. Huh. Yeah, it definitely feels like this is resin or polystone or something. This does not seem like painted as Wyverstone. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. That's also super easy.
That'd be rad.
Wyverstone is one of the simplest paint schemes on Earth. Hamster got real lazy with Wyverstone.
Damn right.
that man spent 10 minutes figuring out what that entire terrain like section was gonna look like. Just base it in black and then do interference blue.
Hey, when in doubt.
And paint it like Wyverstone? That's a phenomenal idea, and probably actually would. Just do regular stone around there. This would be like a Wyverstone. Some kind of Wyverstone altar would be. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I should do that. Okay, so let's base it. I'll at least do. Okay, I've got an hour. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. This would be a very good piece to use in a skirmish.
Yeah, slam that thing down. An objective or something.
Break. This might be.
Yeah, don't. Okay, yeah, don't actually do that.
Jesus Christ! Just got another.
Oh, Charles, if you haven't done Unpainted before and you're like interested in it, this would definitely be a good one because it's a lot of like flat pieces and it's a fairly. I mean, it's a really simple scheme to do.
Yeah, mountains are one of the easiest things to get in on. One of the easiest paint schemes.
Well, we're talking about cities too.
Oh, cities? Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's
But mountains also. I mean, mountains is.
I thought you were talking about what I'm doing.
Sorry, I read his chat comment in my head and did not say it out loud.
I forgive.
But you're still right. Mountains and cities are some of the easiest to paint.
Most all the exterior stuff is pretty easy, and then there's forest.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like once you do forest once or twice, like you get it down, and it's still like simple to execute. It's just more steps.
It's less difficult, more time consuming.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Also, the fun thing with going unpainted for cities is it's the kind of environment where making different color choices on a couple pieces can like go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stuff. Where it does get tricky is it's like, okay, when you do those different color schemes, then it's like you can't mix those anymore. But like if you get a significant amount of walls and you're like, this is gonna be, you know, for these kinds of buildings, it's gonna be for the others. As long as you have enough, like, gives you a lot more visual variety and it's nice. Same thing with the roofs, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. You could do all kinds of roof colors.
Yeah. But then it's weird if you end up mixing them later. But
yeah, no, it's true.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, since literally the two building skins that are in this Kickstarter are the two simpler ones. Fieldstone and Wood are both like I would consider easier than Tudor and Ashlar.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that much simpler than Tudor, but definitely simpler than Ashlar by a good amount.
Yeah, if you're on the fence, if you're ever on the fence in general with unpainted, this is definitely the time to do it.
You could always just go like unpainted for the bread and butter and then get painted for like dressing or set pieces or other things that feel like it'd be harder.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you know, maybe you don't want to paint a bunch of bookcases or something. Because then you're talking about a lot of little details and all that.
Yeah, a little more fiddly.
Than the factory will. World's your oyster. Here at Dwarven Forge, we try to offer you as many options as possible, and with this new a la carte approach to the Cities Untold Kickstarter, you'll be able to customize your pledge even more than before. Yeah, it's really criminal how I'm working and paying the rent instead of spending all my time petting you. Is there a personally painted by Hamster pledge?
Oh my god.
They're... No, I'm not gonna say it.
What?
There technically was at one point. I still can't get over how you thought that you were gonna have to hand paint every piece that gets sent to people when you first got hired.
Hey, I was a dummy. Yeah, if you haven't heard, when I was first hired, it was basically like pretty much this time when it was like the heat of Kickstarter prototype painting, and they're just like, okay, yeah, great, just kind of start painting up these pieces. And the big thing was like, hey, like the stuff looks great, you know, we just gotta like kind of balance the efficiency, go a little bit faster. I'm like, but these will be in the hands of fellow gamers, and they're not. They're not. And the worst time was when this group of pieces wasn't fitting in the gap correctly, so Nate's like, hey, can you take these on the belt sander and shave off a millimeter? And I was like, are people gonna be okay with that? And then turns out I learned
How the what the business model actually is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, now you know how it is with Kickstarter. It was just like, okay, great, yeah, go, and like I didn't answer, or I didn't ask any questions really. I was just like made assumptions, and everyone else was like in the thick of it. So
Yeah. You gotta not be putting your claws at me right now. Just gonna tell you that right now. It's not gonna fly. How long did the rest of the DF team choose not to explain things to Hamster and let him worry?
it was fairly quick. I don't know. I was there for that first month because I was only hired for 1 month, and then it was just like, oh, do you paint? Well, I remember when Nate asked me, so have you, because I was going from like terrain, and then we were getting in the miniature figures. It was like some of the caverns miniatures. He was like, so you say you've painted miniatures? I'm like, that's all I've painted, because they also interviewed like art students and stuff with like these traditional painting portfolios. I'm like, that's the only thing I've ever put paint on. So then I started doing that, and they're like, well, stay till the end of the Kickstarter, and then that ended, and they're like, no, stick around. And now it's been 5+ years.
Yeah. I feel like most people came on just for a Kickstarter.
Right.
And just stayed.
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
Well, because for a long time, like, it wasn't actually... Not that it wasn't actually a company, but it wasn't actually, like... You know... a full business.
Right, yeah, it's definitely grown and very quickly in that time.
I want to tell you, I went to a great game store a couple weeks ago that had a 2x10 foot table with a 3-foot surround. It was full of dice. You just power around and pick out the exact colors you wanted. It was so luxurious.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh, what type of paint are you using? Coat d'Arms or another line? Those colors look really good. What are you using?
Honestly, I really done Coat d'Arms dirty. This paint is basically full. And one day I stuck some putty on it, and it's mostly, my Coat d'Arms have mostly been handles. But I was interested in it because I heard that it's basically like the original Games Workshop formula. So just kind of from a nostalgia standpoint, I bought a few of those, but I'm honestly just like mixing from the Chimera. And they're kind of thin, so I'm just like layering up from the black primer and just mixing all the way.
Mixing all the way.
Oh, they did make the original Citadel. Yeah, I remember, I didn't have the first Citadel with like the white tip pots and like the big red goblin icon on it. But I had the black tipped pots. You know what I'm talking about? Like the kind of hexagonal with like the black tip and the navy blue label. I had those ones with like goblin green, bleached bone, vermin brown, like that range.
Goblin green.
Oh yeah, goblin green bases were the way. You paint the base rims bright green. That was the way to do it. You ever use speed paints, Hamster? I have. I have a handful of Citadel Contrast. At Adepticon, I bought the smaller box of Army Painter speed paints. I think they're all good. And I haven't used them a ton, but I did paint. You remember this, Chris? I painted a bunch of God tier stuff really quickly for a shoot and all speed paint really fast.
Yes.
So that was neat. It was neat to test them out. So I kind of use them. You know what? I use that type of thing a lot on metallics, actually. What I've been doing the past, like, year or so is just mainly using silver and then doing transparent paint over it to, like, make it the metal I actually want. But what I use most frequently is just, like, the golden transparents, like this. So I'll do, like, a bronze. I'll turn a silver into bronze with something like this. Because I like the contrast, they're just so dang expensive. So these are like more expensive, but you get this giant bottle. So I have a bunch of these things.
I think I'm actually gonna stick with. I went digging into my reefer paints for this, and I realized, wait, no, I'm doing terrain. Just use the corner.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm gonna do is the general paint scheme. I think these like pillars that are up around it. I'm gonna do olive dry brush. I want to do kind of sandstone-y. What would be good for that? Let's see. Ooh, I can do deep lava.
Yes, I'm already in.
Try deep lava and then olive dry brush over it and see what that looks like for the pillars.
I already love it so much.
And then, obviously, the stone itself will just have the interference blue. I'll leave that black. Then the rock around it, I'll just do what we use for our mountains. If I have it here. Wait, do I have it here? What do we use for the mountains? Base gray.
Base gray, and the Wildlands mountains have a step with like earth brown on it before the caverns dry brush.
Okay, so I might need to actually finish that part off later.
Hey Kodiak.
Hey Kodiak.
I mix up my own contrast paint using medium and flow improver. Yeah, honestly, a lot of times when I'm doing that method, I just use regular paints because sometimes I kind of like starting from like that desaturated look when you just thin down regular acrylics over the zenithal type thing. So there's lots of ways to use it. But I rarely. I have a little bit to test it, but I rarely do the whole just like spray it light or bright and then like straight out of the pot speed paint. Because honestly, I end up like getting finicky with it anyway, so I end up kind of altering it here and there. But it's fun to use because a lot of times I'm painting like this going up from dark, and so it's fun to paint down from a lighter base coat and get really saturated colors with the transparent, because that's their big strength, is they're super saturated, so you can get that super bright color, but they still work thin down and can do more subtle things too. So it's a neat tool. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Taryn. Like, you just get the contrast medium. That's literally what they put in the paints to make them do that. So, especially if you have a saturated paint already, just throw that in there, you're good to go. Every base, goblin green plus flock. Yes, exactly. Just like the straight grass flock. No variation. Goblin green base, get the little, like, sandy painted green sawdust flock. Elmer's glue over the top, dunk it in, call it good. I remember painting my first Warhammer Fantasy Dwarf Warriors, and the first time I glued flock on a base, it blew my mind. It was like, that's grass. That's grass right there. Now, I also learned, don't use the Elmer's glue for the actual models. I did that and they came apart very fast. I was like 10 years old. Let's see, Azona, was Hamster saying he uses golden transparent like contrast? Yeah, basically. I mean, it has similar properties. It's just really saturated and really thin, so... And they all have a similar problem where they dry kind of glossy, so, you know, it can, like, affect how paint attaches to it on top of that, but you can matte it down with medium and stuff. But yeah, I tried contrast, I said, this is a really cool tool, and I'm just gonna buy these and use them for that, because you get so much more. So I have, like, 20 of those things. That's, like, basically a lifetime supply. I mean, look at this. This is... model color, what is that? 17 milliliters versus 30. Now, what I did notice is some of them have two versions, and like they're all somewhat transparent. But, you know, get used to looking at the labels because this is more opaque. Obviously, this means it's semi-transparent, but it's not the full empty square. So, like, this is more opaque than that. So that's just a guide of how much medium to use when you're using it. And also, this is a clear cap. This is a white cap. That is also, you know, notice this one says transparent. That's the clear cap. This is just for golden, I mean. And this is used by all art brands. But so some of these have like a more transparent version, and some of them don't. Some of them are just more opaque, so you just get used to looking at that to see. I mean, it's the same with GW too, like certain colors you need more or less medium for the effect you want, so little things, it's all a learning curve like any new tool, but I like them a lot. They pretty much work the same to me. As do the speed paints. If you see Army Painter speed paints, to me, they're just as effective and way cheaper, so than GW, I mean. So I like those. I usually thin with water, but mostly out of laziness, because I don't have a... I guess right now I have a thinner medium, so maybe I'd use some of that. But I don't think there's a right answer. I think you gotta experiment with either one yourself and, like, see the difference in effects and the difference in the application, because one painter might like more or less dilution and like or viscosity, so those things will affect it, but both will work. I generally just use exclusively water and have had no issues. All right, Charles, good night. Thanks for hanging.
Night, Charles.
Here's a crazy thing too. Sometimes for certain things, I wet the model first. I just take a wet brush and put like a layer of water over it before I apply my transparent paint, because then it'll push it around a little more without drying and sticking. You don't want to flood the thing, because then of course it'll like just grab all of it and pool, but I kind of like that. Sometimes I can push it around a little more before it starts drying and sticking.
Huh, interesting. I've never gotten a model wet.
You got it wet with paint.
Yeah.
The most recent contrast release has had some great colors. Pilar Glacier to speed paint ice, kind of a bluish. They reformulated them, didn't they? They have like a 2.0 contrast, or maybe that was the washes, like the null oil and stuff. I haven't checked any of that out. That was fairly recent, I think.
Okay, that was not dry yet. That's fine.
Oh, that was the washes, okay. What do they do? Are they more saturated or less saturated, or what was the deal with that? I rarely buy Citadel now, so I didn't really look into it. I think more washy, okay.
Do you use blue or violet on the Wyverstone? It's blue, right?
Honestly, I think it's both.
No. You're going to use twice as much? Alright, yeah. Paint tutorials.
But you've used some of the new contrast colors too? I might have to look at those, because one thing I have been close, I should say, to just like buying the whole range of contrast paints, which I'm glad I didn't do. It's very expensive. But for like army painting, so you always have the cohesive scheme going, you just pull it straight out of the pot.
It's just blue.
Is it just blue? All right.
It's just blue.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, the contrast, they're a great quality tool. I don't have anything against them except the price. But if they're available to you, I mean, they're definitely worth using and trying.
Why are you starting a fight with other companies?
I'm starting a fight. Like, yeah, we can take on Games Workshop, right?
Yeah.
David versus Goliath. God, I need new headphones so bad. I have packing tape on these things.
Nice.
Almost 3 pots of Vallejo for 1 pot of contrast? Oh, man. Oh dear, my wet palette is not very wet. My paints are drying out.
This is such a cool effect, man.
Yeah, anytime there's an opportunity to use that on something, I just love using that stuff. I sold the army that was primarily all violet interference, but it did look very cool.
Sold it?
Yeah, I just have too much stuff, and I wasn't playing any games.
That's fair.
But don't worry, since I have bought 3 armies worth of models in the box, so... I did paint one Sisters of Battle model as a test, and it got me really excited to paint the army, though, so maybe there'll be an army on the horizon.
Zero Dawn.
Yes! Forbidden West.
Yeah. I don't understand why the game gets the acclaim it does.
I mean, when Zero Dawn released, I thought it was really cool. Something about it, I never really finished it. Like, I thought there were cool things about it, but...
It's a very cool concept, and I was very excited for the game before it launched.
Yeah.
I felt like it stumbled real bad. Didn't like the writing, didn't like gameplay, didn't really like much about it.
Yeah, something about it made me put it down and not come back, so I don't really know. I don't actively remember disliking things, I just wasn't, like, super blown away, I guess.
It felt like a situation where they... all the systems that were like, this is what gamers want, this is what games are now. And a lot of them didn't need to be there. There didn't need to be a crafting system.
Yeah.
You didn't need to be doing a ton of inventory management and stuff. That didn't add anything to the game. It just made it more tedious and longer.
Alright.
It was just going like, these are the trends, do the trends.
David versus Goliath, but this time David has modular rocks? Yeah, look out! Escarpment coming your way. Dropper bottles make it so much easier to mix up your own custom colors. Very true. I've never been a fan of the Citadel pots. But that's, I think, the majority vote for the most part. And less likely to dry out, yeah. You know, it's easy to get, like, paint that starts, like, drying on the edge and it doesn't, like, close all the way, but you don't really notice until the paint is screwed. They're great for washes and glazes, so that's good. Although I keep seeing horror stories of people tipping them over and spilling them all. People design little cup holders for them.
That's pretty cute, though.
Yeah, they 3D print them out.
Alright. And then we're going to...
You have 2 of those? You're all set. Man, I haven't even touched the feathers yet. I've been waiting to see what the heck I want to... what color I want to make those. What's going on over there?
I'm realizing my vision. Oh yeah. Okay. How much can this be?
Yeah, this model, honestly, this, I was thinking of like kind of like the small of the back. It is kind of looking like a butt crack, isn't it? That's not sculpted. But it is very, that might almost be where it starts though. It wouldn't be up that high. But yeah, this is a model that has, yeah, that clothing is pretty low on the waistline. Which I didn't even realize when I bought it. And I feel like if you're going into battle, you might, you know, wear a belt or something, but it's kind of buddy. Yeah. Little bit buddy.
That wind is picking up outside. Come on. Oh!
You doing okay?
Dispense paint. Let me get paint out of you. There we go. That should do it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all coming together.
Yeah, exactly. It's a vent in the back of a coat. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, this was a good idea. All right.
Space for a tramp stamp? Yeah, there's quite a bit of back showing there.
Freehand tramp stamp.
There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, my poor paint.
Damn. Okay. That's pretty sick. And then this candle. You just hit like serious painting mode.
I did. Oh, I realize I'm running out of time. I want to finish.
Just so much good conversations.
I know it. Oh, thank you, Taryn. And yeah, it is a cool sculpt. I like it's like a dynamic pose, kind of. The colors are a little more saturated on camera than what I'm seeing, but it's fairly close.
What's that?
The bard is running away while playing a song. She's running into battle.
While playing a song.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
She needs sunscreen? Yeah, honestly, same. If I were going in a battle, I need my SPF. Hey, have a good game. Thanks for playing. I mean, I'll be in this chair next Thursday, so if you're around, maybe there will be a stream. We'll see. But in any case, we'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out.
Are you planning on streaming Thanksgiving?
I was thinking about that before we started. Like, I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else, so if I'm here, I might as well put the stream up for those that...
I think Tyler and Rachel are doing something if you want to go to that.
Oh, they are? Well, that's... Maybe I'll do that then.
Yeah, I think they were gonna tell everybody that's like staying around, like, hey, if you're here, let's, you know, let's hang out and do a Friendsgiving.
Well, awesome.
So I'm probably gonna try to make something for that.
Cool.
And then, you know, you can get some turkey hot pockets or something.
Oh my god, screw you. Hey, that sounds delicious, okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I know my audience.
Uh,
Let's see. Take Friendsgiving if you got. Yeah, Tyler, I was going to talk to you about it today, but he got distracted.
oh, awesome.
Hot pocket and some canned cranberry sauce.
Oh god, I can't after that build you guys did.
The build. Oh god, right. Oh man, yeah, we did. Oh no.
Can never look at cranberry sauce the same way again.
Yeah, we did a thing for social media that's intensely cursed. So, you know, get ready for that to get posted. Oh, this should be the same color. Okay, my cat did actually get everything everywhere, it seems. She has hair everywhere. When she was up here. Piece is gonna dry, and then everything else is hit it with base gray. Modular crayon jammer. That's really good. Somebody pointed out that we have to do a sample build where we use the scaffolding system to make sky docks.
Oh, that sounds rad.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, that is a use case that probably people won't think about unless we show them, so we should definitely do that. So yeah, if you can make regular docks on the ground, and we made a system specifically for going up into the air, you can put docks up there too. And then we have to accept that Spelljammer's a thing.
Then finally. That bit's done. Getting close to the assembly part, I think. Whoa.
Skydock-wise, will be achieved with no additional elevation blocks, etc. Oh, that's fair. Helium balloon on the Bayou barge. People have asked us for like a cloud terrain tray, yeah. I've always wondered if that's actually like worth the time when we've got the River Styx one.
Oh, that's right.
Used it for that purpose. I think Merc literally did a build like that. If he's still here, see the one. Yeah, he's still here. It does feel like a very niche use case. Like, how often are you gonna need clouds? You know.
Counterpoint. It'd be sick as hell.
Yes. I mean, if I had them, I would use them all the time.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. That's exciting.
What's going on there?
Apparently I got interference blue. Yeah. Okay. At some point I put my arm down on my paper towel and got interference blue on my arm, and then I put it down on my armrest, and now there's shimmery blue streaks on my armrest.
Welcome. You have made it.
This is far from the first time I've had.
My monitor, literally, I'm looking at here, has a streak of paint on it from when I adjusted it with my hands, and there's paint on my hands.
I have little black. I have flecks of black primer on my monitor from the old apartment where I was painting right in front of the monitor instead of having like this desk set up over here.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Not great.
I have several shirts that have paint-colored sleeves now for my brush paper towel. Yeah. Oh, yeah. These pants I'm wearing, like these jeans that I wear a lot, they're like screwed now. There's all kinds of paint. There's super glue on them. Oh, listen.
You just gotta dedicate, like, this is the hobby stuff that will get destroyed.
Right. Get back to me when you've shaken a paint that you forgot to close. Listen. Some of the Picorni paints that we have, the caps are, you know, dried shut with paint. Well, apparently not shut, because they can't close. But I've started shaking that thing, and just a streak. All the stuff on my... I have to double check. I'm still finding random stuff that has flecks of paint on it. It's usually just like one or two paints I have to look out for because that particular bottle, like, I think one of them had a busted cap. So it looked like it was closed, but literally the plastic was like splitting. I've thrown paint all over that freaking desk. So many sweatpants with glue and paint stains. Yeah. Yeah, Chris is right. You have to have your hobby outfits.
Like, instead of workout clothes, it's just...
Yeah.
Okay, I think I will actually be able to fully finish this thing tonight.
Nice.
Before the stream's over. I'm getting very close. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let that one go.
Birthday suit? Tyler, I don't know if I could stream in that, though.
Just don't point the camera down.
That's why I wear denim. Any pant which doesn't come out just makes them look better. Yeah, true. A little character. No judgment here. I know you guys wouldn't.
God, I would love for you to just stream nude at some point, just to see how we would handle it. What would we do? Just joined in, loving the bard. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's a pretty talented guy.
Yeah, it came out a little more saturated than I first imagined, but I'm okay with that. It could use some more highlights, but I'll probably just call it after the stream. Thank you, Vertex. You get banned? Yeah, maybe. Only if you do the same, Chris? Yeah, exactly. I'll go down with the ship if you do too.
I didn't say anything about going down.
Do you paint most of the minis in Stefan's game? No, I haven't painted any of Stefan's personal stuff.
Get these candles done. How much time's left?
Oh, let's see. We got 9 minutes.
Oh no. Oh, I gotta rush. Oh, it's just like the Great British Baking Show. Oh no. Except you didn't do one of the worst bits I've ever seen when you told me.
I spared you my crappy bits.
Avoid the soggy bottom. I genuinely might wind up with that if I go too pretty fast. Well, the artist I was watching got a ban for showing feet on the stream as he was painting feet at the time. I thought it was a bit silly to ban him. Were they nice feet? If he was showing like some real, just like ugly feet, I'd get it. Oh, it just kills me anytime like somebody's got something really good going, but then they overcomplicate like the decoration or something and it falls apart. And it's like, man, you would have been fine if you had just like gone a little bit easier.
What, on the models?
On the Great British Baking Show.
Oh.
It's my life now.
Sure.
All right. Well, it's definitely close enough to assemble, and I can touch up after if I need to. But let's. I don't know why I tried to shake glue. Try and get this thing to connect and stay there. Looks like it's working so far. God, remind me which way this goes again. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, yep, I need to do that. Hang on. Got one last dry brush. You can't forget the dry brush.
So one of my favorite things I've been doing lately is I just like throw a little sand on there and I paint it like grass because it just looks like texture. And then I just add little dots for flowers. There's obviously nothing like actually sculpted on there, but the scale just, I think it's small enough that it just reads like little tiny flowers on there.
That's cute. Okay. And then I can do a dry brush on these rocks. That might be all neat.
Bye, Tyler.
Tyler's leaving?
He said,
Come on.
see you both tomorrow.
All right.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, he said we're saying we're at 5 minutes left. I thought you were leaving. Oh, thank you all. Yeah, I like how that turns out. I've been doing that on a... Let's see. I think I have the other ones I've done. So this one has like little red flowers down there. I didn't do red on this one just because there's so much red on the model. Oh, I haven't done any here. I also plan to like just add tufts. Maybe like one or two at most to each for a little more variety. But... Alright, good night, Rabbit. Thanks for hanging.
This actually is going to be very good for a wargaming table.
Yeah, that thing looks really cool.
Yeah. Bam. Okay. I think I'm gonna call this one. Assemblies done. Where'd the cat go? Okay. All these parts seem sturdy. Yeah. It's staying. I could probably break it if I applied pressure, but let's not do that.
Don't split on me now, brush.
Just hitting like some final dry brush spots.
Yeah, I'm just trying to highlight as fast as possible, or I'm gonna I hate it later.
Let's see. Bam, look at that. Pretty happy with it.
Stuck between a rock and a barred place. That should have been the title. Yeah, that looks rad.
Pretty happy with it. Camera's not doing it many favors, but I
Sure.
can take real photos after. Just a good little objective you can drop down somewhere. Nice. Nice. Not what I thought I was going to paint today, but I did it.
You did it.
I actually just put this somewhere in the apartment for decoration, too. Little terrain pieces like this are kind of nice to just put around, actually. I'll just put it somewhere instead of taking it to the office.
I like that idea.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do that, right? I've been wanting to, like, make display. I've been working on the, I've been working on the apartment. Trying to make it feel like a place where a person lives.
Right.
And, got pretty much all my art hung that I wanted. And now it's just like, okay, I should put in shelves, and like now, what other stuff can I do? All that.
Right.
Displaying some minis and stuff that I painted would be nice. You can see that on some mountains. Yeah. And that's the thing, is I might then bring it in for a game or something at some point, because it does seem like a really nice objective. A shrub? I could also get plants. I've thought about getting plants. There's a nursery like 3 blocks from me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was like, I could get into plants. I got into birds. They're basically the same thing.
Yeah, how are the birds doing?
I got a cardinal today.
Yes, that was your mission.
Yeah, I finally got a cardinal. I was working here, and then I heard a call that I didn't recognize. Because, like, the mourning doves are all pretty quiet.
Uh-huh.
Well, they get loud, but, like, what they do is they're like, cooing at, like, a fairly low frequency that usually doesn't get through the window. So I don't generally hear them very much. I hear them more when they start flying, because when they fly, like, their wings make, like, a high-pitched, like sort of noise, and it sounds like their call, but it's actually their wings, which is very fun to me. And then I started recognizing the blue jay, because I got a blue jay that is starting to come by every day now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the last couple weeks, a blue jay's been coming by, and he's got it's a male blue jay, and he's got a very, very identifiable call. It's just like a very loud shriek, basically. So I recognize that. Then I was hearing like a milder call than that, but still like one that is like kind of a little shrieky, and I was like, what is that? And I go looking over there, and there's like this little brown bird with like the little tuft of hair, and I'm like, oh, it's a female cardinal. Hell yeah.
That's awesome. I miss seeing cardinals. I miss seeing cardinals. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They're here. I see them in the botanical gardens and stuff. Like,
Sure, right.
cardinals are not uncommon birds, but for whatever reason, they were not coming up here. I think it's just because we have more mourning doves than anything. So we
Right.
have mourning doves everywhere. Because like, I genuinely have had over 20 mourning doves on my fire escape at once.
God.
It's bad. And they'll all like start bullying each other, and eventually they'll like settle on like an order for who gets to use the feeder like first and all that.
Sure.
But yeah, so no, I finally got a cardinal, and I she came back a second time today. So I'm hoping that now that she knows that like there is food here, I'm hoping that she will be here regularly now, because that's what happened with the doves. Was I had food there for a couple days, and then one of the doves showed up, and then came back again and brought like its mate, and then like over time, more and more doves started showing up, as I guess word spread, or as just more of them came across it. Do you have a life bird list, aka bird Pokédex? Somebody sent me an app where you can take a picture of any plant or animal and it'll like identify it. But my phone camera is so bad
What?
that it doesn't matter what pictures. I've taken pretty close-up pictures of the mourning doves, like, because the mourning doves feel safe enough here that they will just like chill on the other side of the window, even if I come like right up to it. They'll like keep an eye on me, but they don't immediately like run away if they see movement in here anymore. And so I've gotten some really close-up pictures of those mourning doves, and it does not recognize them. Those blue jays are loud and can be mean. Yes, the blue jay is a bully bird, which is unfortunate. They are very loud, though. That's the thing. Is like, what made me realize I had the blue jay was I was hearing like when it's screeching just outside your window, it's loud, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh, it's the blue jay, and he's like standing, or he's like, I don't know if it's standing. He's like perching like sideways on the bars. I got him on camera, and then
That's sweet.
it's not if I don't get a cardinal. I hope that she brings her mate by. What's interesting is like with both blue jays and cardinals, you can tell males and females apart really easily because the females will have like subdued brown coloring, and
Right.
they'll have like, tints of the blue or the red. Like female cardinals have like a little bit of red in like the tuft on the top of their fur, or fur feathers. Top of their head, I should say. Top of their head, they have like a little red, but for the most part, they're brown. But the male cardinals are like just the full bold, bright red.
Yeah.
Same with blue jays. The male blue jays have like the coloring that we know for blue jays, and then the females are more subdued. Mourning doves are harder to tell apart, because they are mostly all brown.
Yeah.
But the males have kind of an iridescent sheen in a couple spots. And so like the top of their head has like a bit of a, I think blue, like a bluish violet sheen, and they've got like little pink iridescent spots on their cheeks, and then their chest is also a little iridescent. But it's like it's very slight. So like if at a glance it can be hard to tell them apart. Also like they're generally a little bit bigger than female mourning doves. But but like if they hang out long enough and you see them, it's like, oh no, I see it, like the sun is glinting off of this one's head like more than the other one.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're harder to tell apart, but I just really got cardinals. When I was a kid, I was super into. I picked all my sports teams based off of their colors, or if I liked what their mascot was, basically.
Right.
And so, like, basically, when I was into baseball, basically all the bird teams were like, I liked the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Cardinals. Like I liked all those because one, animals are cute.
Yeah.
Two, it's like the bird teams also just generally tend to have some of the best colors. I don't know if it's because birds like have very bold like coloring.
Yeah.
But like, dude, the Orioles like black and orange is super good.
Yeah, that's real striking.
Yeah, like they got some of the best colors in the game. And the Cardinals and Blue Jays are pretty classic, just like a really nice shade.
Right.
So I don't know.
You don't think red socks are cute?
Kids don't like socks. Kids don't like socks.
Right.
Sorry about ranting about birds for an extended period of time.
No, I love it. I'm really excited you got cardinals. That was like why you started.
Yeah, I started getting a cardinal blend because cardinals still are one of my favorite wild birds. So I'm very happy to have finally gotten a cardinal because that was what I was going for. I was buying specifically seed mixes that are supposed to attract cardinals. The problem is there isn't a seed mix on God's green earth that doesn't attract mourning doves. So
as you've proven.
Yeah, so I was just getting a lot of them. Which they're cute, and I love them. They devour everything.
Yeah.
There's 20 of them, and if they're slowing down now, I think because of the winter.
Sure.
But in the height of things, as soon as I put out food, within like a minute, the fire escape would be flooded with mourning doves, and the feeder would be empty after an hour tops.
They're posted up waiting for you.
Yes. Yeah. They my fire escape became this, and that's the thing. And so even before I wake up now, there'll be like 5 of them just like chilling on the fire escape, like poofed out, doing the thing where like they're actually like resting and preening because they like feel safe there.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice. But yeah, I'll get out there. They'll just be like lined up on the railing of the fire escape, like
hello,
like poofed out. Yeah. And they'll fly away when I open the window. They're still, sometimes one of them will like stand at the very far end of the fire escape on the corner and will just like stare at me as I put the food in.
The brave one.
Yeah,
or the hungry one.
For the most part, they'll usually still like leave when I open the door, but yeah, I don't know.
Soon you'll have little bird friends helping you paint miniatures, fluttering around.
You should do 7 Snow White, but it's but instead she just wants them to help her paint.
Yeah, there you go. Or she wants them to play her D&D session.
The 7 dwarves are 7 dwarf minis that she's trying to
yeah. There you go.
Oh, man. I don't know. The becoming a bird guy has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I love getting the updates.
Yeah.
And seeing your Instagram stories and stuff.
Oh yeah. I've been able to get the cardinal on camera yet. I will post her to.
That's the next mission.
When I can actually get her on camera, but she's been a little more skittish. So if I do get close enough to the window to get a picture, she does generally head off. But yeah.
Matter of time.
Yes.
Well, so it sounds like next week we'll be at Tyler's for Thanksgiving, so probably no hobby hang. If it changes, just look out in the Discord and we'll let you know, but...
Bill definitely isn't happening. Nate is, I think he's heading to, like, family Wednesday afternoon or something, so On the Anvil's not happening next week.
Okay.
And then, yeah, maybe we'll stream from Tyler's.
Yeah, hey!
We streamed, was it Thanksgiving 2019? No, it had to be Thanksgiving 2020. We streamed from Miles's.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought my laptop and right. Yeah. Man.
So you never know what could happen. Chris is a creative streamer, so we'll see.
I don't think. That was when I started painting the orcs. That's some of the painting I'm still most proud of was that Ragecraft orc warband.
Yeah, those turned out good. I like seeing them on your shelf by your desk.
Yeah, they were the first ones I put like full attention and effort into, I think. And they meant a lot to me. They were tied into my character's like story and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And then we never really got to use them.
But they're ready. Yeah. Well, hey. To all celebrating, have a great Thanksgiving. And we will see you on the flip side of the turkey. Thank you all for hanging. And good night.
Good night, everybody.